I think you're quite good at that, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes you can hold it together. This could be a great game, though. You've been talking about this ever since I saw you first thing this morning.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for this, man, because I think, again, similar to what we had yesterday with that Na'Vi match against NRG, I think this could easily just be a place-off game. This could be like a semi-finals matchup, maybe even the finals, you know? So I'm so hyped about this game. There's so many question marks, though, too. You know, we keep bringing up Yanko. He said himself, look, the Hong Kong event, yes, it went well, went swimmingly for us. But let's put it into perspective that the team there, the teams we were facing, weren't exactly the top caliber. Absolutely.
He's being realistic, and like Alex said, he's got his head screwed on correctly. He's not being arrogant about anything, but he's also not being dismissive. Like, he's actually, I think he's in the right mindset right now. He knows he's got a lot of work to do right now. The loss is coming at some point. He knows that. You can't have the perfect streak forever. But this will be their first true test, I would say. A world-class opposition. They've definitely been practicing. I would say at this point they should be ready with snacks. MIBR, certainly the favourites, at least in my book, and we'll see how it goes down. Mousesports on the T side here. We're going to have 4 sets of armour for them, a couple of P250s as well, of course, as is part of the course these days. But CORSAIR, my God, he kicks things off in style.
He had so many highlight reel moments yesterday as well with the Desert Eagle, so it doesn't surprise me to see that he's kicking things off in pretty brisk fashion. With the player advantage, they're going to be funneled out into 2 separate angles. They have to watch out for A. You can see that Rops is eagle-eyed over there. He's down to 1 HP. And with CORSAIR already with 1 kill under his belt, he's got a second. Bombs dropped out too in the open. This round should now be pretty convincing for Made in Brazil. But Sunny is doing some serious damage of his own, as he is the last player left alive, and suddenly it's gone down into a 1-on-1. CORSAIR has picked up 4, Sunny with 3.
Well, that's quite the interesting battle. 2 heavyweights of Counter-Strike going toe-to-toe right now. Sunny, 57 HP, CORSAIR 55. Couldn't really be close if he tried, but advantage to CORSAIR considering, there it is, that sneaky little bomb on the floor there, Vince. But Sunny has got plenty of time to work with, and CORSAIR knows it. Where's he going to end up? Where's he coming from? He can come from every facet of the map right now. He can come from CT spawn. He can come from short, the apartments. There's many different options for him, and CORSAIR needs to position correctly. He now knows exactly where Sunny is. He's looking for that ace. Can he find it? It will be an amazing way to kick things off. Damage being inflicted on both sides. CORSAIR can't connect it just yet, but Sunny certainly can. Shuts down and denies the ace, and he might even get a cheeky $300 for the plant. That doesn't quite come through, but it will be Mousesports completely shutting down CORSAIR there. Considering he got 4 kills, that's going to be a gutting way for him to kick up this series.
That went under the radar, man, because that really should be a Made in Brazil round. Like, MIBR should be getting that every single day. It was something like a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-2 that they let slip away.
Yeah, well, if you give Sunny an inch, he'll take a mile every single time. Definitely a talent that goes under the radar sometimes. I think most of us are aware at this point how godlike he can be, but so can Rops as he opens things up with the Khalil. He'll take down Fallen there. It's a 5 versus 4. At this point, ladies and gents, you don't really have to do much in these sort of rounds. This is perfect. Mousesports have definitely been guilty in the past, especially on a map like Mirage, of rushing B when they have these anti-ecos, anti-force buys up against them. And we saw how catastrophic that can be early in the Optic game. If you just rush into force-sport players, it can be very detrimental. So this is perfect. You wait for the initial aggression, hopefully get your first pick like this, go into an execution, use power and numbers. So this is looking like a guaranteed round, for me at least, as Mousesports make their way towards the A-bomb side.
You certainly think so. There's a lot of talk on the desk about Rops and Sunny and how well they've been playing, but for me, this is one of those maps where Oscar can just be world-class with that AWP.
Yes,
he
I
is
agree.
so aggressive. He's one of the few AWPers that plays very aggressive time and time again in B apps. On the T side, definitely something to watch out for, but as I'm speaking, it is going to be aggression onto A. With Sunny with his MP7 putting down frags. Bomb will follow, as should the round. CORSAIR and Fur, there is a reason to save these weapons. It gives them something to play with in the next one. Scout and CZ, not too shabby, but this round's over.
Absolutely so. Perfectly played there by Mousesports. I'm sure they used the player break efficiently and got snacks into the lineup properly. They couldn't really rest on their laurels like maybe some of the other teams were. You remember we had Edward yesterday say that they didn't play a single day in the player break. They had 1 day before this event. And for me, that's just not good enough. I feel like at the level of competition where we're at in CSGO right now, you can't be like that anymore. You have to be developing and evolving in the player breaks. And I think Mousesports have been aware of that. Their results with snacks previously weren't amazing. They definitely had to use that time efficiently, bring him into the lineup. You can see I'm actually enjoying the tactics they're showing right now. That was a really nicely played round. And Sunny's on 5 and 0. That's never too bad. As Fur and coldzera save over the Scout and the CZ. We'll go to round number 3. Should be another lock in here for Mousesports as they hunt for the 3-0. But you never know. coldzera Scout, and especially he's got 4 kills to his name. Could be quite a deadly prospect. But like we said, this could be the first time MIBR are going to be truly tested by world-class opposition. And so far, so good for Mousesports.
That pistol was a bit sketchy, but apart from that, it's been smooth sailing. Completely agree with you too, especially when you consider it's a Masters event, a DreamHack Masters, and then the Major is just round the corner. I can understand taking some time away, but he's warmed up. Sunny, in the meanwhile, does spot Fallen. MP7 is going to shred through half of his health, but he will be able to relocate and maybe try and put some hurt down. In terms of this round, though, again, it should be a gimme for Mousesports. It's all about how much damage can MIBR inflict on their way out. First being forced out into the opening. The CZ will claim the kill into Chris J, but Snacks is there to return the favor.
Well, there we go. The A side is technically open at this point with the smokes down. They do act like a force field, especially against these USPs. Not really much they can do. So round, yes, going in favor of Mousesports, but will they get away with 4 players surviving? That's a very important factor. People don't really necessarily rate how impactful a couple of kills can be in these sort of rounds. You can deny money building up and take away those SMGs where they get a farm cash in the next round. You've got to consider that as well. If you lose an MP7 and upgrade to the AK, you're not farming as much cash following on against that full eco. You know, so it's definitely always important factors and little things to consider. This will be the gun round next, but coldzera does manage to take one more down. They're just trying to find any sort of damage they can here. Sunny might be going down with the bomb, needs to get his skates on at this point. He should be fine. He's managed to get towards T-Spawn. He's just booking it. Oh, still didn't make it, Vince. You hate to see it. And the Scouts will be taken to the next round. But sometimes that can be a little bit of a cruel mistress. So the Scout, to be fair, what we've seen in this tournament, you can't really argue with some of the things people are doing with that weapon. But ideally, I'd want Fallen or coldzera to be using the AWP, and they do throw away the Scout. Okay, they need the round right now. They're not going to try and squeeze one through with a Scout. I think that's the right call, in my opinion. Especially, like you said, you're going up against Oscar on his home map. You can't do the Scout. You need the AWP.
You need every possible advantage that you can muster up. Totally agreed. It does put them into a bit of a poor buy with Fallen, with no Kevlar, and Chris J domes Tarek right off the bat into B-Apps. There's a Molotov there to greet them, so it stops them charging onto the site just now. Does allow Fallen to move into position to watch down short, but his teammate of coldzera has been found wanting by Chris J. The floodgates have opened onto B. It's all on Fallen. We've seen him pull off miraculous plays. Oh. That's a hell of a shot onto Chris J, who was already tagged up courtesy of coldzera. But you can see they don't have any faith in him clutching. They're still on A side. They hadn't moved a muscle.
You're right there, and Sunny is so good at those sort of plays, just sniffing players out, working out where they reside as he holds towards top or middle, and it just leaves Fur now, 4-0 guaranteed, and this is the Mousesports. We've been missing them for about 3 months, and I think the real kind of well-oiled machine. It's been a little bit turbulent since the departure of Sticker. We weren't really sure what was going to happen. It was a strange move. They had a couple of disappointing events, and then it seemed like the removal of who I thought was one of the most important role players within the squad. Sticker, great anchor, knew how to play the clutches. I felt like that was maybe a bit of a miscall. You're bringing in another star player on top of the stars you already have. To me, that didn't seem like the right call, but maybe Snacks has have to undergo some kind of transition in his playstyle. Does he have to reel into it a bit more? Does he have to be less aggressive than he used to be in VP? I'm not sure. I'm interested to see how his game develops and what he brings to the table, but it's looking very good so far. They've got some lovely new jerseys as well, Vince. You like that?
I do.
Beautiful retro 90s kind of Premier League style.
Yeah, exactly. Man after my heart, I see.
Yeah.
But I wanted to pick your brains on something. I'm not sure if you'll agree with this or not, but this whole Sticko thing felt like the glue to me of Mousesports.
Yes, I agree.
A player it reminded me a little bit of that completely got outshined all the time was Rubino. When he played for North, when he played for those kind of teams.
Exactly. That's a very good analogy, I'd say. They're both very solid players like that can go under the radar in terms of the frags, I guess, and you don't really value them as much as a spectator. But either way, a good opening pick as Rops will go down. Remember, this is a partial buy now. AK going to be picked up by Stewie. Fur was the one finding that first frag, but Oscar, so good on this particular map, does answer back.
So the early trades should favour Mousesports a tad, especially as made in Brazil haven't really been able to muster up too much in terms of a buy. Just Tarek with a deagle. coldzera has one couple of assault rifles, remnants of the past of around prior. Just over a minute in which to utilise. And Mousesports, they know that MIBR don't have too much in their back pockets. They're just waiting this out. They're hoping that MIBR walk into a trap. And so far, they are showing discipline. They haven't fallen into anything just yet.
Absolutely right there, but these rounds can fall apart, especially when Jake Yip gets the AK in his hands. You never know what could happen here. Sensational talent within CSGO. If he gets going, it's another disastrous effect for his opposition. For now, though, switching the weapons around. Let's see, Sunny finds the MP7 at this point. Considering he's low HP, he could be thrown in first. Let's get the intel, be the bait, as it were. Stewie now has already got that AK. Brilliant first shot to take down Sunny. He's going to have to do a lot more here. They'll be using the smoke perfectly just to shield himself from the opposition. They try to plant. It's a fake though, and that might be the end of him as he has to allow them to reload now.
Oh, that fake completely wrecks Stewie. If he had more bullets in the magazine, he would have picked up the kill onto Tetris, but finally will find Snacks anyway. As the smoke parts ways, as will Stewie. Oscar and Chris J, all that remain. Chris J though is going to get the drop. Well, I say that, it's all on Stewie, leaving Oscar in a 1-on-3. And he's going to try his best to wrap around into connector and try and stop this defuse. There's the first. They're just going to hold down on it. And CORSAIR is going to be the interference player.
Oh, there it is. Stewie 2K getting it done with the AK-47, negating the opposition when the smoke was down. Like I said, you give that guy an AK-47 and some beautiful things can happen. That first shot, so deadly as well. He's got great movement, a very mobile and agile Counter-Strike player. And you can see the awareness as well, just protecting his teammates, going for that full defuse. Oscar went for the long con, right round towards middle, didn't work out for him. And now the double AWP setup comes out for MIBR. This is where they start firing on all cylinders.
You really hope they do, Henry, because they've got a chance now. It's been one-way traffic, but now MIBR, can they claw it back? Again, pretty passive start. Posturing in mid for Mousesports. Chris J, who got an entry frag a few rounds prior with the AK, was trying to make a move into BAPS, but decides better of it and just draws away. CORSAIR, definitely one of the key men to watch out for. Currently on 6 kills. Tarek yet to add a kill to his account. He'll be hoping that changes sooner rather than later. Chris J making a move up into underpass, just making sure they're covering all the potential angles. Molotov into window, smoke on connector. But now the Molotov has dissipated in window, they're going to have to keep an eye over that. Unbeknownst to Mousesports, however, no one from MIBR is present. They've pretty much given up mid-control entirely here, Henry.
They really have. CT's allowing them to have, and it's going to be allowing Mousesports to reposition. They're going to keep Sunny towards middle. He'll be fending off any rotating players from B towards short or pushing the apartments towards T-spawn or underpass. But it looks like Snacks anticipates the aggression from Stewie there. Hits the great headshot. The flashbang comes through. Further, undetected so far. He's going to get multiple frags here. Just good for one, but Fallen's there to back him up. The classic CT's position for the AWPer. 20 seconds remaining, and Mousesports still need to get close to that bomb plant.
And both the remaining CTs of Fallen CORSAIR have an AWP each. It's not tailor-made for retaking. If he can stop the plant, though, he just goes out raw without any grenades preceding it. And it seems Mousesports have thrown away a golden opportunity. CORSAIR doesn't have to re-peek. He knows the bomb's down. MIBR have done it.
I think that's a massive fumble from Chris J. We surely knew the AWPer was in CT spawn. He'd already found a frag. And at that point as well, you had Sunny who's making his way towards connector. Surely plant for him, get it on that side. I think it was maybe a brain fart at that point because surely the information was given. You had no smoke towards CT. Fallen's alive with the AWP. He's already found a kill. You'd think at that point, let's just plant for Sunny and at least give ourselves a fighting chance. The clock was running very low. It's a high-pressure moment. Maybe a missed call came through from a teammate. We'll never really know in that regard. But still, MIBR, that could have been a little bit different. That bomb got planted safely. They could have clutched it with Sunny alive, especially. He's so important in those situations. But still, it is 2 rounds in a row from MIBR. Like we said, this is where they really get going. Tarek's going to be given that secondary AWP now. 0 and 6 for himself, but it's fine. They're getting back into the game. There's the coach LMVT for Mousesports. Gets to be a little bit more stuck in here at DreamHack. Fur opts to the MP9, and trust me, that's not a problem. I mean, that guy makes that look like a rifle sometimes. It's unbelievable what he can do with that particular weapon. Very aggressive, but maybe Yanko has leashed him somewhat these days to hold him back. We'll see.
It certainly is the kind of weapon where you'd want to be more aggressive, or at least play an angle that plays to its strengths. A very fast bullet dispersal, but it does seem that MIBR going to have Fallen moving into jungle. And this does seem like the default for Mousesports, just kind of sitting around mid, waiting. anticipating some kind of a play, holding on to a bunch of their utility at the early doors. They still have 4 smokes to play with and 3 Molotovs. One molly just gets tossed in there from the CTs into BAPS. They've seen a couple of plays here in the past. Double stack on the balcony. And once again, completely giving up mid control. They have no interest whatsoever in contesting this, it would seem.
We'll see what happens, Vince. 1 minute mark coming in now. Chris J. He'll have that Mac 10. He's starting to head towards the B apartments, and you can see who's waiting for him. It's old mate Tarek. He'll be waiting with the AWP. Yet to find a frag, but this is a strong position for him. You can see him. Oh, maybe since the gun barrel's there, you can see a flicker of pixels as he holds tight. This could be working out for him any second now. Fires a shot. You can see he's baiting his teammate as well. That's going to be Oscar opening things up. So good towards B, but CORSAIR, he's going to be standing in the flame, trying to do whatever he can here. He finds 2 kills, 3 versus 2, and Fallen just looks sensational right now, hitting every single shot. Just the way we used to love. And now Oscar left in an almost impossible situation here.
That was unbelievable. CORSAIR got 2 frags from that position. It looked like he should be completely silenced, but here comes Oscar with the AWP as his weapon. He is looking to rain down some serious pain. There's only 8 seconds left. He's got to get a move on. Gets a second frag, and it's going to be almost a whiff spray from the aforementioned MP9. But they get it done.
That was too close for comfort. If I'm knife out, I'm getting out of there. But 5 seconds remaining, he went for it. And Oscar, he almost got that one. There was Tarek trying to get it done. He did bait in CORSAIR perfectly, you have to say that. It's a lovely little setup, but you're right. Standing in the flames, flashbangs going off. CORSAIR gets 1, good for 2 on the drop down somehow, saves the round, and now it's a partial buy for Mousesports. MIBR closed the gap to 1. 4 plays 3 now in favor of Mousesports, and Oscar beats the flames at least, trying to catch his opposition off guard. If he got the 1 dig there, that really would have been something quite special. In other news, Fur is top of middle right now, and he's going for frags.
So they've gone from no mid presence to right up in the face, right up in the grill of Mousesports. Maybe hearing those footsteps to his right-hand side now for deciding to push in. That is the bomb carrier too of Sunny. So if he can get this kill, it's just gone horribly wrong. But it does seem Sunny's going to be able to vacate the area just in time. And now the flanker becomes the flankee, but Fur's going to be able to put down the paint with 2 kills. Caught well and truly in the middle though. Finally goes down and will gift wrap an M4 across. Did his damage. A lot of information too, but there is a minute to play with. So that information is not really that valuable at this stage.
Totally agree. Oscar with the only rifle available for Mousesports here. They have 3 smokes, to be fair, Vince. This isn't a foregone conclusion just yet. If they can isolate Fallen in CT spawn, focus on Stewie in towards the shadow area, as long as the smokes are spot on here, they have got a chance. Problem is, only 1 flash. Is it enough to bait out a shot from Fallen here? Here comes the flashbang now. Will he fire off? He actually flashes in response. That could actually set Stewie up here, but no. Robs takes him down. Fallen now in a lot of trouble. Like I said, these smokes were absolutely everything for Mousesports.
They really needed Stewie to land at least 1 kill on his way out. As it stands though, CORSAIR perched up on the tall booth, trying to punch in the tickets of Mousesports, and Tarek's going to lend a helping hand. He's had a bit of a slow start, but that kill could yield the round for MIBR. Just lands on Oscar. His position not currently known, a Molotov to try and deter him from peeking. They're going to go for the defuse. He's not too interested for the time being, and they're going to get the full defuse. Yeah. He assumed it was a fake.
Why not? Oscar is just hoping they play themselves at that point, but CORSAIR, he's playing like the chess right now. 2 steps ahead of his opponent, working out how he'd be thinking in these sort of scenarios. How would Oscar maximize his chance? What kind of gambles would he take? Not peeking the first defuse is actually a very viable option, because most CTs in that sort of situation, they'll tap the bomb, trying to bait you out, then take you down together. It's unlikely to go for the full defuse, and that's exactly what CORSAIR does. Going for an unpredictable play, and it's perfect. 4-4. We're all tied up here, and hopefully this is the series we're looking for, but a much faster approach as the T's just barrel out of the apartments here. And Stu is ready. He gets 2. Snacks with 1 in return, but that's the A side. Pretty much open at this point. It's going to have to be a retake for MIBR.
Does seem that A's been a bit of a weakness so far for MIBR. Typically, Mousesports has been getting quite a lot of headway in here, but the fast rotation for Fur once again. Maybe not expecting him to do this twice. Quite a cheeky play. They still haven't got the bomb planted just yet, learning from their mistakes previously where they went for the plant without any grenades beforehand, and Snacks has got it down on default. The positioning from the rest of the team of Mousesports, Tetris and on the stairway. Incendiary onto Firebox. Lives up to its name. Forces Snacks out into the open, and now Fur, his flank has been a success with 2 kills. Snacks, all that remains, but not for much longer. MIBR regain the lead.
You can see Fur getting in the zone now. If he can get towards T-spawn with about 30 seconds into the round, you know he's kind of reading the game in code at that point. He knows what's going on. He knows their movements and tendencies. He's not just doing it for fun. He knows what to do in these sort of scenarios. You can see they're not anticipating that whatsoever, Vince. It's great to watch. It's a very unusual play style. Not many CS players try and replicate what he does because it takes an incredible amount of skill and bravery. And also, I guess, at some point, some people would consider that to be a stupid play, but that's sometimes the best plays you can do, is the unexpected ones.
It's a cool little Molotov there to try and extinguish a smoke that's tossed into window from Fallen. If you're wondering why he just did that. And understandable, because they've been focusing a lot on mid so far.
Yeah, so he wants to be there.
It does look like a bit of egg on face, because now he's used that Molotov for no real great deal of advantage back in the favor of an MIBR, but 10 players remain on the server still. And still plenty of time to utilize.
Plenty of time. Let's look at the general setup here. There's 3 players towards middle for Mousesports. You can see Fallen just keeping his eye on towards short, but that will be smoked off eventually. You want to smoke in the mouth of the bomb site, just like that, so you can get the connector control first. Get yourself set up there so the CTs don't have that area. It's a very valuable bit of real estate there on Mirage. And ideally, maybe get someone boosted up towards window, but for now, they're just kind of feeling things out. And Mousesports really are focusing that A side. You pointed it out. Yeah. It has looked like a bit of a weakness, a bit of an entry point for them. But MIBR have been winning the rounds when they've been retaking the bomb side. But Stewie waiting by the ramp itself. Fallen still there with the AWP. Furs watching the window for the boosts. It's still looking good. They're prepared. Stewie gets flashed in towards A ramp. Gets nothing for it, but 30 seconds remaining. There's 3 players now waiting to go towards A4 as Oscar joins him, but Sunny will open things up and take down Fur.
Perhaps just trying to avoid CORSAIR at all costs, but they're going to be walking into the embracing arms of Fallen, and he will knock Snacks off his mortal coil. Is hoping for more. 15 seconds. They still haven't covered all the angles here. Stewie is laid in wait. And with the bomb sprawled out in the open, Stewie will strike. Has he done enough, though? Fallen now has to pick up the mantle. Wait for the rest of his team to rotate. CORSAIR is on point on Chris J. 3 seconds to go, and CORSAIR is going to take the round away, and to make matters worse, Sunny dies after time.
That means he gets no money, ladies and gentlemen. That is a nightmare situation. Sunny with $600, just as his team gets maximum loss bonus as well. That is a significant and detrimental death for him at the very end. You could see them panicking and floundering towards the end of that round. They actually tried to drop the bomb out of the apartments, right? Just getting the bomb out, pressing G, getting on the floor instead of just jumping out. It looked like they were very apprehensive. Fallen had them locked down. They weren't really sure how they could really recover from that situation. And with Sunny with no money whatsoever, wants to play here. The rest of the team can buy, and that's why they've taken a pause here now. What do they want to do? Do they give up this round and allow them to have it? Oscar has purchased the AK-47, but I think that's one of those tactical purchases we discussed earlier. A star player, especially one who's got 11 frags right now, picks up 1 AK. The rest of the team will go for a partial buy. In Sunny's case, a full buy with that 1 CZ. He had no cash. You can see he doesn't look too happy about it. And we go to round number 11, and you have to say, Vince, after being 4-0 down, MIBR have looked convincing since they've got the double orbs out and started to stabilize their own economy.
Absolutely, the pendulum of Counter-Strike has well and truly shifted. 6 rounds.
Oh my God.
Sonny caught that on his face.
Yeah, he really did.
96 damage from a grenade.
He hasn't got armor. The only player that you didn't want that to happen to, it goes down his throat essentially and ruptures his insides. So that's not ideal.
It's pretty much as much damage as you can take from a grenade as possible.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You can't get an insta-kill with them, but I think that's pretty much as high as it gets. Maximum damage.
Any hope of pushing out of mid has been squashed. Right there with that 1 HE, a money nade worth every cent. Fur's going to take a bit of damage, but it's more of a love tap. And it is going to be Oscar with the only AK-47 that Mousesports possess. Apart from that, it's CZs. So they've kind of flirted with the idea of mid, and now A, and now they're going to be moving over to B, meeting all of the quotas. But they have been avoiding B for good reason, because CORSAIR is laid in wait up on the balcony. He's joined by Tarek, and they're looking for this bait once again. There's not much time either, Henry. They have to pull the trigger on this.
35 seconds, Vince, and CORSAIR is in that same position. He right-clicks the flashbang. That's going to destroy them. Oh my God, they can't do anything about it. CORSAIR Oh, he's getting the zone. One thing that really excites me about this tournament is some of the prowess we've seen from the world's best. We saw Nico earlier lighting his opposition up like birthday candles earlier, and now it's CORSAIR looking like he's in career best form as well. That's some amazing fragging potential for him. 18 kills, 3 deaths. That's what we want to see, Vince. From that man in particular, you want to see those numbers. Jeez. 11 rounds played, he's got 18 kills.
Unbelievable. And it's not as if the likes of Tarik, who's only on 3 and 8, have been playing poorly. It's just CORSAIR has been everywhere, omnipresent. You can't handle him right now. And it seems that Mousesports have decided to go back to their tried and tested A side hit. And to be fair, they have got success in terms of bomb plants. It's just been the retakes they've struggled with. Not been able to hold on to what's been planted down. Double stack and connector, playing quite passively at MIBR, with the exception of Stewie, who's once again in shadow. He's had a couple of awkward moments. Not this time, though, is at least going to get the 1 kill. CORSAIR, who's typically been on B, has made the call. And Tarik, what was that? He just burnt himself to a crisp, tried to extinguish his own Molotov, and I need to see the replay of that after this round's done. But MIBR are still in it. Fallen connects onto Sunny, leaving both him and Fur to try and somehow salvage this round.
It's a strange one. We've definitely had some awkward moments of the incendiaries this event, but still a 3 versus 2, and Fur is capable of pulling this one back. Good move from him so far, knows exactly where Chris J is. Going to use an incendiary to set up the defuse. This could work out. This is looking perfect. Get that defuse going, Fallen. Oscar is in a lot of trouble here, and I think he knows it. He's opting out of it. That was looking like an incredibly advantage towards Mousesports at that point, but they couldn't actually hold it together. Fur and his movement coming through, he knew exactly what he had to do there. Just starting to crouch in. As soon as he gets that kill, and the moment that smoke is deployed as well, he's got the incendiary towards the apartments. He doesn't have to look in that area anymore, and it works out perfectly there. So, 8-4, MIBR running away with this one. They were 4-0 down, and we're going to find ourselves in round number 13. Oscar's got the AWP, but they can't get around on the board. It's been so long, but they have got the maximum loss bonus, and as long as they keep planting that bomb, Vince, they'll be absolutely fine for cash in that regard. Absolutely.
I tell you what, Tarik is thanking his teammates there after that blunder on CT, but it's going to be Fallen once again, and here comes Stewie. It's all too easy for MIBR. 8 rounds looking like the 9th, unless Sunny and Rops can pull it back. And remember, that pistol round also really should have gone the way of the CTs. Barring a crazy play from Sunny, who still is alive and in the thick of it. Bomb dropped out just outside of ramp is going to be an issue, though. A real nuisance. The Finn trying to work some magic from connector, while his neighbor of the Estonian is in ramp. Backward positions assumed by MIBR, and judging from these angles, you'd have to fancy them to take this round.
I think so. Rops and Sunny. Backs to the wall once again. The bomb's down in front of Rops. Still have to work there. It doesn't have to be a forced issue here. Sunny trying to get out of the connector, but Tarik is watching it like a hawk right now.
Sunny going to make a move. Flashbang preceding him. Made a bit of wiggle room, but it has been stamped down. Once again, Mousesports squashed.
Mousesports. No bomb plan that time, Vince, and that's what we've been talking about. That's what's been keeping them alive. Yanko's probably explaining that situation right now. I know he's a money fan as well. He likes to follow the cash. He'll be aware of the prospect of them not really having that much to work with. They've got $3,400 per player, and Oscar's purchased the AWP. Now, this is actually a bit of a calling card of Mousesports. They do this quite a lot on their full eco, sometimes even on the CT side. Oscar's so confident in his own ability to carry rounds single-handedly. He goes towards B like this and tries to get the close-range encounter. This one still might work out for him. Doesn't hit the no-scope, though, and Tarik will get the advantage. Wasn't the cleanest of kills, but they all count. They have the 5 versus 4. If I'm Fur right now, I'm falling back. I'm keeping that advantage, but he knows a lot more than I do, Vince. He knows what he wants to find. He gets the kills, and he brings it into a 5 versus 3.
I think he's brimming with confidence. It's the kind of play you look like a fool if he dies, but a genius if it works out. And that was all about a Molotov that was thrown behind Oscar, isolated, segregated the 2 players in B-Apps. I believe the second one was Chris J, who's just found his maker and been put out of round 14. But solid work by MIBR. It's all the little things that add up into this accumulation of rounds. Snacks and Rops, both with CZs. Only 10 kills between the 2 of them. CORSAIR has romped on to 19 and 4. Fallen gonna help him out, and Snacks not long for this world as Fur using the off angle. Not a single point of health was lost in that round. 10-4.
Absolutely bizarre. MIBR, if they can keep this up, I'll be very impressed. It's looking fantastic right now. You can see how the machine is designed to work. You can see all the fragging potential. Now the synergy is being thrown in. It's looking deadly, and Mousesports don't really have a response just yet. They won the pistol. That's pretty much all they've had going for them so far. They've missed a smoke towards the window area. And Fur, once again, he is just having a field day. This is when he knows he's in the zone. He starts just rushing around the map and making them look a little bit foolish. He's going towards T-spawn already. Keep your eyes on him, ladies and gentlemen. He's about to cause absolute destruction here, but Oscar, one step ahead of him, takes him down. Finally, something going in favor of Mousesports.
And that clip right therein explains why the AK is preferred over the M4. They both landed headshots.
Yes,
Oscar survives with 11, Fur's a dead man.
That's why it's significant when CTs get the AKs, because then they can make those sort of plays, knowing if they do have the aim, they can take them down in an unrivaled fashion. But there we go. It is going to be the final round of the first half, and finally, a huge advantage here for Mousesports, 5 versus 3. Tarek, though, knows he needs to make something happen. He can't just sit back in the bomb site. He needs to find frags and find them quickly. Great shot by him to take Oscar down. Not the wall bang there as well, but still so much more to do.
Yeah, Mousesports could be getting their first round in 10. Yes, you heard that correctly. Just joined us. They were 4-0 up at one stage. But the cogs started to get turning, and I wondered, we saw FaZe in perfect form earlier today. It seems that MIBR have been inspired. They have been pushed forward to show the world what they're capable of doing. And this puts us into great shape for later on in this event, man. If FaZe and MIBR are both firing all cylinders, we're in for some good matches. Fallen, though, going to get caught by Chris J. Didn't really have any backup whatsoever, as CORSAIR and Tarek are both occupying mid and B, respectively, but now going to try them together and try and push through connector. 13 seconds left. Not going to be able to stop the bomb. It's all about afterwards. Can CORSAIR maybe cultivate a kill on the retreat? No, but they do have some utility.
Surely this is the Mousesports round. They need this one. They can't go 11 rounds unanswered. CORSAIR will do what he can. The incendiary is starting to be deployed right now. Sonny wants to challenge, but that's going to be detrimental for his team. Pressure starting to be applied now. The flames are engulfing towards Snacks there, but he does hit the kill. That should be the round. Tarek can't do anything about that. We do have 10-5. Not the worst half in the world, if you think about it. 5 rounds on the T side. Sure, it's not ideal, but let's see what Stunner thought.
Let me tell you what I thought, Henry. This is exactly what I thought. You could have cut the tension in this room with a butter knife earlier before MIBR picked up a round. And, well, it only took 10 unanswered ones for Mousesports to finally grab another one. Either way, going into the second half, I do believe the MIBR are letting them have it when it comes to this verbal battle out here because, quite frankly, they're not shying away from the noise that they're making on this side of the camp. You know, Henry, how are you feeling overall here? Who's going to walk away with this best of 3?
For me, it feels like MIBR might be too strong at this point. When Fur is in every position on the map and he's in their spawn essentially and within 30 seconds, Vince, you know his confidence is brewing. He's showing no respect for his opposition at that point. And it's very difficult to recover that mentally. If you know he's just be pushing everywhere, it changes your game stance completely. You start kind of playing differently. You're very cagey. You want to make sure you're not walking around corners, could slow you down. You might be using too much utility because you think he's going to be around the corner. Essentially, he's got in their head as well. So I think that's a huge factor right now.
I mean, a terrifying prospect is that we're mentioning Fur a lot because he was making a lot of plays. He was super impactful. The fact is, he's on 12-9. CORSAIR is 19-5. So you don't just have Fur to deal with, you've got an informed CORSAIR too.
Absolutely agree. Well, this pistol is going to mean everything for Mousesports. They managed to pick it up in the first half. Can they do it again? It's a fast A split coming in from MIBR. Fur to lead the charge, looking for block headshots, but gets their USP instead. Robs will go down, and that's the A site. Open for now, blocked by the smoke. The CTs are going to have Oscar though towards Shadow, but not for long.
He has been found, and Fallen goes in for a second, doubling up and giving the advantage to MIBR. CORSAIR is waiting for the rotation. He's found it, but not in time to save Fallen's life. Snacks did just beforehand get that kill, but it's all on Sonny. Now, he did pull off a sick clutch and a huge performance in the first pistol round, but lightning will not strike twice. MIBR pick up the second pistol. That's a huge lifeline that goes wanting by Mousesports.
Absolutely so. 11-5 now. MIBR, emphatic play. And we always talk about the idea of the pistol round and the strategy and stuff. It's such a mind game because they're going to download your demos, know what you like to do, but then you just change things up. You have a couple of tactics you like to deploy there. Sometimes go fast, sometimes go to the execution. And MIBR went very, very fast indeed there. Straight up towards A, traded up kills, and actually quite a convincing victory towards the end. Force by coming in, understandably so from Mousesports. They need this round. They can't really afford to go down 13-5, considering the way MIBR look right now. CORSAIR is at 20 frags, just going into the first couple of rounds of the second half. And it looks like Fallen's back generally. Like, I'm really happy to see, like, I felt like he had a slump in 2018. We didn't really see that much from him as the team kind of dwindled out of the conversation of like almost the top 10. And it's great to see him get the MVP over a Zotac, and now he's looking like he's continuing that form here in Stockholm. But Mousesports, definitely a proficient Mirage team. I was hoping we'd see a bit more out of them today. It's not over just yet, but it looks like they're clutching at straws at some points. But we'll see this double scout set up. Definitely got players capable of it. Chris J definitely could cause a bit of danger here. We'll see. Going to be rattling off shots towards the ram. Nothing connected just yet.
Chris J, known for being one of the best scout players in the world, but didn't really have much of a chance to strike through the smoke. Fur just checking every single angle, making sure no one's on the staircase. The smoke's perfect. The bomb plant down, 5 on 5. The retake going to start to come in. With Deagles, the two scouts, as we mentioned earlier, not ideal for retaking sites, though, so they're already going to back away. Mousesports making sure they're going to keep as many of these weapons available for the next round so they can rinse and repeat, but at the end of the day, it's going to be 12-5 to MIBR. And they are moving very quickly towards that finish line for the first map in this best of 3.
Now, Vince, we call these rounds a unicorn round. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the concept of all 10 players survive. Basically means you have to do a forfeit, okay?
Oh, okay. As long as it's not eating a boot.
Did you ever do that? I can't remember. I did follow that.
No, because I looked, it was like, you may actually die from chemical.
Yeah, exactly. They're treated with like all sorts of things. Yeah. Get the water out of them. Definitely don't put it in your body for anyone who's going to do forfeits.
Instead, I just did like really hot chili challenges and stuff, and I'm awful with spice.
Okay, that's cool though.
So I was just wrecked.
Did you have a big red face on stream?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into details, but the toilet wasn't the same for 2 weeks afterwards.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But there we go. Well, I'll spare you this time. If it happens again, now you know the rules. If the unicorn round comes in once again, we'll get a Twitch chat to think of a forfeit for you. Anyway, it is going to be next round. You get a second bite of the cherry of your Mousesports because you accepted that round as over. You kept everyone alive. You now maybe get to upgrade a few things, purchase a couple of flashbangs here, get a kit like Snacks has done. You've got those scouts still, and we'll see whether they can recover perhaps.
Well, if the last round is anything to go by, it doesn't look good, but it is a completely different fit. Last time was a full A execute. We could still have that coming into fruition with MIBR along with what worked for them. Sunny playing a bit more aggressively this time with a Deagle, and Oscar's there just peering into Palace. But the fact is that with such superior firepower, it doesn't really matter where Mousesports go. It really should still go the way the T's here, unless they make a massive error.
I agree. Scouts. And now a player removed. That's Oscar saving for the AWP. He was alone in towards Palace. Chris J, though. Another go towards A. Surely the smoke comes in to block his vision, but I don't think it'll make a massive deal. Like, he'll probably get the tag here, just like that. Oh, really connect. I take it all back, and it's looking very simple at this point for MIBR. They're even attacking each other, and just drops with the final scout. It's going to be 5 players surviving by the looks of things for MIBR. 13-5, Vince. We had a very one-sided affair earlier in the phase Optic showdown, and this could be quite a similar finish here.
Yeah, it's almost like MIBR trying to outdo FaZe. You know, yeah, Nico, you landed 32 kills. We don't care. We're just going to smash Mousesports.
Just to know, Oscar's got 20 kills, and they're 13-5 down. So he's doing every... Oh, no, have I got that wrong? He's got 13 kills. My GUI screwed up for a second. I'm going to take that all back. Everyone calm down. Okay. I was about to say, that does sound incorrect, but there we go. He's got 13 kills. He's still at the very top, but not quite the amount I thought. It's going to be the All-Cross finish round. The shotgun coming out. Chris J with the scout. Stewie's is going very fast. And this is when you get into these sort of positions, you've got such a huge advantage. You can start exploiting the fact that they won't have as much to work with. They might be a little bit more caged, but Sunny anticipating the fast boost towards the window. And now the scout has to defend once again. 3 versus 2 as another CT player falls. It's going to be now Tarek leading the charge towards A and planting the bomb towards Connector.
Tarek may have had a slow start. He was 006 at one point. He's 15-10 now. He has shifted through those gears incredibly fast, but Oscar is going to derail him alongside Snacks. So Mousesports aren't going to pick up their first round of the CT side.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing move there from Tarek. Just snuck up towards ladder. Didn't really think about CT spawn whatsoever. He could have stayed shadow and had a fighting chance at least of a duel. But either way, Mousesports find their first. It's a timeout. Fallen's calling it. Yanko wants to get stuck in by the looks of things, and I'm sure LMBT has got some things to say as well. We'll see whether we can recognize the temperament right now in the MIBR camp. I love the way now, you remember when timeouts used to happen, it'd be Fallen giving the big speech now. It's cool to see he's just listening to what Yanko's saying. It's not like a conversation. Yanko does seem to be in charge of this operation.
And it kind of goes back to what you said before. He had a drop-off period, right? I'm wondering, maybe one of the analysts can ask Fallen after this game if they do win it. Is Yanko's very hands-on approach allowing Fallen to be freed up a little bit more to focus on his own gameplay?
I think it relieves some of the pressure. Now not everyone's looking to him for the answer. If things go wrong, he can just focus on his own game. He can be like more of a traditional AWP now, say where he wants to go and what he wants to do, especially in this sort of environment where Yanko can talk at all times. I think especially this kind of event is perfect for them, just for the major, just to get everything drilled and perfect, and then Fallen can take this experience and see what works out best for them. But either way, it's very interesting. I think we've had lots of great storylines here at Masters so far. It's been very interesting to see how they've developed. Another one, obviously, is the Snack story here with Mousesports, and haven't seen too much from him. 8 and 13, not really much of a conversation to be had about him so far.
Certainly not. Has gone under the radar a little bit, and for good reason. But Stewie and Sunny, the early casualties of the 20th round, going to be forced to sit on the sidelines and watch their teammates duke it out and see which team can move forward. If it's MIBR, Mousesports very likely will concede this map. Very little room for error from here on out. MIBR feeling their way through BAPS, not going to be pushing just yet. CORSAIR going back up to reclaim the bomb. They don't have any player towards ramp or Palace just yet, and that's allowed ROPS to push into Palace. So a bit of information has been gathered from the CT perspective. But mid-control again is lacking. There's been a consistent theme on both sides.
Let's see how this one pans out. It might be up. If they can win this, it's a harsh reset, pretty much to GG if they win this round, Vince. So much pressure. On Mousesports pick this one up. Fallen confident he goes towards connector. A's essentially open, excuse me, as ROPS holds towards the Palace area. That's a strong position for him, but one smoke removes him from the equation entirely. Tarek and co now make their way towards A. Tarek holding towards the CPL area for rotating players, and he's going to get a couple. Oscar's there, ready and waiting. He already goes down. Fallen beats him to the punch. Bomb to be planted, but the last hope here is ROPS. He didn't deny the plant. He's going for the long con here, hoping his teammates can set him up.
It's all about waiting for Snacks, who's still on short. He has the AWP. Surely they haven't tapped out of this round already. I mean, Snacks is already backing off, looking into... It looks like they've given up. ROPS had a sick position, but Mousesports are playing for the longer game. I'm not sure if that's they have full confidence in their ability to win back this map, or if they're a little bit nervous and don't think they can pull off the 3v4 retake.
Well, at this point, if they did go for it and lost absolutely everyone in an unlikely retake, they would be left with nothing. They would just have pistols and armor and a couple of grenades. This way, at least, the game's not over. If they can save the AWP, the M4s, at least they have something going into round number 21 here. They're 14-6 down. They've picked up one round so far in the second half. It really is do or die time. Someone needs to step up here. We need to see one of these big names really go to town. We'll see whether it's possible here as we get further and further into this first map. Remember, I think this is the Mousesports pick, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong, Vince?
That is correct.
It's correct. I've got something right. Oh, there we go.
And Inferno's next.
Oh, dear.
Indeed, that was kind of my thought as well.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, Fallen, he'll kick things off. Lovely shot by him. Well, that's the AWP removed of Oscar. 5 versus 4. Chris J, what have you got left for me, my friend? We do need to find some headshots here. That will do. The bomb goes down. Flashbang to be deployed as well. He really does need to get out of there. Notice he has no backup at this point. There's so many smokes down. His teammates can't really back him up. He has to fall away and try and survive and capitalize on this 4 versus 4. Snacks, definitely proficient with the AWP. First time I think we've seen him using it so far, picking it up from Oscar's corpse. But now things should start to calm down as we get to the 1 minute mark and MIBR just hold up.
Yeah, back in the VP days, at one point he was the primary AWPer. Played second fiddle for a while for Pasha too. So we know he's got that ability. But he got smashed on the retreat down to 13 health. Not going to be able to have too much impact for the time being. They need ROPS to just dig him out in this very deep ditch, and maybe Chris J had a flurry, just a moment within him, but it's been snuffed out. And now Rops is the last man standing. They're not going to expect this position. He's given away the complete whiff. And that, for me, is just a summary of this entire map for Mousesports.
Yeah, that really does sum it all up, doesn't it? And Rops as well, you can see that's not usually something you see from him. That is quite a disastrous whiff. I'm not going to say it's going to affect the outcome again. I feel like MIBR had this one tied up regardless, but still, it just really will get in his head. He's a young player. Those kind of misses can play on your mind. You know, there's potentially hundreds of thousands of people watching, and it can get in your head thinking, oh, that was pretty horrible. It doesn't really matter. You've got to pick yourself up and realize, like, let's look for the next map at this point. Very similar kind of sentiments from the first map we watched of FaZe and Optic, for example. You just got, regardless of the scoreline, this didn't work out, you can bounce back in the second map.
Definitely could trade maps, although Inferno's not going to be an easy task whatsoever. Tarek and Rops have traded kills. Rops again will control pallets. Last time wasn't able to do anything with it. Sonny does some Fury, does a bit of damage, but it's negligible at best. And Oscar's in a duel to the death with Fallen, but they both will decide not to go out on their shields. They want to live a little bit longer. Frodo, in amongst the ruckus, has made a move through Connector, but that's to his demise, courtesy of Rops delivering the headshot with the Kalashnikov. Now Zach has a chance, but he's missed out too. Stewie goes in for a couple, living up to his name, and now Oscar, 1-on-2, long range, UMP. Good luck. He has traded out to an AK, doesn't matter. 16-6. As dominant as he could ask for.
They remain undefeated for now. That was a clinical performance. After going 4-0 down as well, Vince, as soon as the money stabilized, you could see how efficient they look right now, how the synergies come in, something that was really lacking before. Fur could always do those aggressive pushes, but could he make it work every single time? It seems like they've got the working parts now around him to do it tactically and efficiently and get inside the head of their opposition, which is exactly what happened, I think. They looked so rattled after he did it 3 or 4 times in a row. They didn't really have a response, and they were getting shut down and panicking in the key moments of the game.
So you've had FaZe perform incredibly earlier today, and now MIBR have maybe just outdone them. Because it's a higher caliber of team, right? Like Mousesports are up there as one of the best teams in the world.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. We do move over to Inferno next. MIBR look pretty flawless right now. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back after this break.